I never intended to be that neighbor, the one who escalates small issues into full-blown neighborhood wars. But Karen had pushed me too far. It started as a minor inconvenience. Karen, the self-appointed queen of our HOA, had a habit of cutting through my driveway instead of using the sidewalk. At first, I ignored it. Then she started doing it multiple times a day. It wasn't just her, it was her guests, her dog walker, even random delivery guys who followed her lead. One day, I walked out to find her standing right in the middle of my driveway, texting on her phone. "Excuse me," I said. She didn't even look up. "Oh, I'm just passing through. It's my driveway, not a public path." She scoffed. "Don't be dramatic. It's faster than walking around." That was when I decided I wasn't just going to stop her. I was going to make sure she never did it again. The idea hit me like lightning. A hedge maze. If she wanted to take a shortcut, I'd give her one she'd never forget. I spent a week planting tall hedges, curving them in elaborate patterns across my driveway. I designed it so there was only one real way through, but dozens of dead ends. From the outside, it looked like a simple row of bushes. But step inside, and you'd find yourself in a leafy labyrinth. I even installed small speakers hidden within the hedges. Whenever someone entered, they'd hear distant whispers, footsteps, and eerie laughter. The first night after it was done, I watched from my window waiting. And then it happened. Karen, wearing her usual smug expression, strutted up my driveway and walked straight into the maze. I held my breath as she took a few confident steps in. Then she hesitated. The hedges towered over her, taller than she expected. She turned left, then right. Dead end. I heard her mutter something under her breath. She tried another path, another dead end. And then, right on cue, the whispering sound started playing. Karen froze. "Who's there?" she snapped, spinning around. The speakers crackled. A soft voice whispered, "You shouldn't have taken the shortcut." Karen bolted. She twisted through the maze, her breathing heavy. But no matter which way she turned, she couldn't get out. I had trapped her in her own arrogance. Finally, she did the unthinkable. She screamed for help. I stepped outside, barely able to hold back my laughter. "Everything okay, Karen?" She was breathless, her face red with frustration. I need help getting out of this stupid thing." "Oh, but it's just a shortcut," I said innocently. Her eyes burned with anger, but she was too flustered to argue. I let her out, watching as she stomped away, humiliated. Victory was mine. Or so I thought. The next morning, I found an HOA violation notice taped to my door. "Unauthorized landscaping. Remove immediately." I wasn't surprised. Karen had clearly wasted no time in reporting me. But before I could decide my next move, something happened that changed everything. I saw Karen's son, Evan, standing near the maze. He was about 10, quiet, and often seen reeling alone. Unlike his mother, he wasn't obnoxious. In fact, I'd never seen him bother anyone. Curious, I stepped closer. "You like the maze?" I asked. He nodded. "It's kinda cool. I don't think you should tear it down." I frowned. "Your mom would disagree." Evan hesitated before speaking. "She doesn't know I come here. It's peaceful." There was something in his voice, something that made my stomach twist. "She doesn't let you go outside much, does she?" I asked. He shook his head. "She says it's not safe. But when I'm in here, I feel safe." That hit me. I had built the maze to trap Karen in her arrogance, but somehow, I had also built a sanctuary for her son. And then came the real heartbreak. "She doesn't listen to me," Evan whispered. "She just tells me what to do. It's like I don't exist." I suddenly saw Karen in a different light. Yes, she was unbearable, but maybe she wasn't just a villain. Maybe she was a person who had built her own walls that even her own son couldn't escape. For the first time, the prank didn't feel like a victory anymore. That night, I sat staring at the HOA violation notice, feeling conflicted. If I took down the maze, I'd be letting Karen win. But if I fought back, Evan would lose something he cared about. The next morning, I made my decision. I didn't tear down the maze. I changed it. I redesigned it. Not as a trap, but as a proper garden maze, open for the neighborhood. I added flowers, fairy lights, and even a small reading nook at the center. When Karen saw it, she stormed over, arms crossed. "You think you can get around the HOA rules with this?" I sighed. "Karen, it's a community garden now, open to everyone, even you." She scoffed, but said nothing. But later that evening, as I walked past the maze, I saw something unexpected. Karen, standing at the entrance, watching Evan as he read a book inside, a look of hesitation and something almost like sadness in her eyes. She never admitted she liked it, but she never reported it again either. And sometimes, late at night, I'd see her standing near the maze alone, lost in thought. Maybe, just maybe, she had found something in the maze too.